Let's talk about Mean Girls. So, one thing that's heartbreaking, I think, as someone who, my platform I try to use for women empowerment and really just being a nice person, I don't think it's something to be applauded. I think everyone can and should be a decent human being. Um, but let's talk about Mean Girls today. So, one thing I've learned about Mean Girls recently is that Mean Girls don't grow up. They literally just get older. And I had a really toxic, unhealthy, miserable experience with a mean girl slash woman for about a year and a half. And it's kind of scary, like understanding the psychology of a mean girl. I guess because that was the first time I've had an interaction so close and personal. Usually, so background about me, I'm very much to myself, right? And I've always been like that, very shy, very to myself, very much like very limited friends. Like people knew me, but I never really had like a big friend group like I would be in, Anyway, so this experience was interesting because I realized like mean girls don't care. Like they're called mean girls for a reason. Like they don't care. Like you could literally tell your sub story to a mean girl, your whole life story, and they will probably just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, right? So I had this mean girl. I literally, firstly, she was prying into my life, prying into my personal information, everything. Like I was literally being like almost like a safe being broken into. And she kept asking me all these personal like questions, and I was like, at first I'm really like, kind of avoiding it, but she kept insisting, and it was a very strange power dynamic where I kind of had to oblige to it. And eventually she got to know my traumas, my love life stories, my childhood stories, my family relationships. Stupid. Why did I do that? It's just I honestly was starting to fall for the trap of her pretending to be like a friend and a confidant and like a maternal figure. And I literally was like, okay, like after time I trusted her. Like I genuinely trusted her, and she made sure I trusted her. And meanwhile she was just stabbing me in the back with a spoon. But this mean girl, one, I had a very emotional moment with her because she kept asking me about my traumas, and one of those is my 10-year long struggle with depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation for a few years, and trigger warning. And she literally just said, well, I don't believe in mental health, so none of this means anything to me. And I was like, red flag. I'm like, you're strange. So I'm like, everyone has their opinion. Like, you can have an opinion if you believe in mental health or not. That's your prerogative if you want to believe in mental health or not. I'm not going to force you to believe in mental health. But when you have somebody literally cry to you in front of you and telling you about like being depressed and literally not having the will to live, and you just say, well, it doesn't really mean anything what you're saying to me. Like, I don't believe in mental health. That's sociopathic. Anyway, that was one thing. And then the second thing was all this information that she got from me, she literally just started gossiping about it. Like my trauma was gossip to her. She started telling people about my trauma and my stories and my information, my personal information, my private information. So she literally faked being a friend to then get all my personal information to then spread it. Sociopathic. And this woman is like twice my senior, by the way. And it's not ageism. That's not an ageist comment. I'm just saying for context, she was twice my senior. So I really was looking at her like a maternal figure. And the point of this is when mean girls are very manipulative. They get in your head. It's actually scary. because they also, I think, are the same ones that like smile and like are like, hey girl, like yeah, I hate it, and then they'll go talk crap about you like the minute you turn your back. Mean girls, like other mean girls too, mean girls are weak, so they can't stand up like by themselves. They have to have people around them, whether they're puppets or people who feed their ego or people that they just benefit from or whatever the case is. Like they always have to move in packs. That's why they usually target people like myself who are like loners in a sense. I think I'm a popular loner. Like I'm very to myself, but a lot of people know me. And so usually if they see somebody like myself, it's immediately a target. What's sad is even when you have great intentions towards the mean girl, it's not going to change anything. You could literally, like, I prayed for this woman, and she just continues to just like lie and slander my name because I don't want to be friends with her, because she just keeps trying to stab me in the back. So I'm like, obviously I don't want to be friends with you, you weirdo, leave me alone. And it's like, because you don't want to be friends with them, then they try to stab you in the back more. It's just very weird. Point of this, guys, being a mean girl is not cute. It's weak-minded, and it's just very much not cute. Would not recommend. 0 out of 10. Would I recommend being friends with a mean girl? No. Experience rate minus 100 out of 10. Okay, be mindful. Not everyone who smiles in your face is trying to be nice. Is nice. No, not everyone who smiles in your face can be trustworthy. And I'm gonna give myself some grace, because I really at one point was like, how the frick did I get myself in this situation of actually having her? Keep in mind, I didn't really have a choice of not having this person around. But I was like, how did I fall for how did she get it? How did she get me? When I tell you, the manipulation games are real. And then what's scary on top of that is then when you become, when you start speaking out and you start distancing yourself, there's like a trigger that happens where it's like they start going insane. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm the mean girl, and so it's like, oh my gosh, this person is gonna possibly like rat me out from my real character and behavior. And so what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna make them seem like the bad guy, and I'm just gonna make them look 10 times worse than me. That's literally how it is. Like, guys, be careful. Like, mean girls will ruin your life. They will ruin your life if you let them. But then you have to stand up for yourself. I'm not a very pushy person. Like, I don't like conflict. I get my history, like my life story. I can't deal with conflicts. I'm very to myself, and I just go inwardly. And so when they sense that, it's like a shark sensing, it's like a blood smelling, what? I can't speak. It's like a shark smelling blood in the water. You know, they're like, oh, this person is weak. In their head, they think because you're to yourself or shy or quiet, you're a weak person, and so that's how they pick their targets. But you need to, when I'm telling you this, I had no choice but to stand up and be vocal and to actually speak up and stand up for myself, because it was getting to the point of like my silence. I assumed me being the bigger person and being silent would just stop it. No. Like, I've literally been staying silent for so long, and it doesn't help anything. They want a reaction, or they want to be your friend, or they want to use you. And if you just stay silent and be the bigger person, they're still going to keep going. And so I had no choice but to speak out and actually keep speaking out. And it's so annoying, because it's not my character to be calling anybody out or putting people in their place. But it's like, at this point, you're actually literally defaming my character and trying to ruin my life. Yeah, I don't know. This same person was responsible for getting a lot of people to turn against me. When I say a lot of people, I'm talking about tens of people. So like probably about 30 people at this point that I know of, right? Who have said, oh, I heard this about you, I heard about that. And then people, to the point that people message me like, hey, I'm so sorry that I started moving weird with you, because this person literally told me all these lies about you, and then I found out that it's not true. You are weird. Why are you doing that? Like, what is going on? You know, and I could laugh about it now, but guys, I cried about it for a long time, because she literally is trying to ruin my life. And so I guess, as usual, I always come on here and I just like to speak to you guys, because it just gets it out of my system, you know. The point of this video is just don't fall for the trap of mean girls. Do not fall for the trap. They will always seem like they're nice and they're interested and they're complimenting you at first, and then you realize, this person's looking at me funny. They're speaking to me very strangely. Why is she speaking to me like that? Why is this person laughing with this other person in the room? It seems like they're talking about me. You start seeing it, and then before you know it, they're literally just trying to like ruin your life. Very Regina George. I've never experienced it this full on. Like, I've experienced mean girls in my life several times, but this is the first time I think I've met like a Regina George, twice my age, who should know better. It's very strange. But I would say hurt people do hurt people. And so I know this person's clearly miserable with their life, and that's sad. Like, I actually pity you. I do pity you. I'm sorry that you're sad, but you can't let these people ruin your life, and you can't let people slander your name and just push you over. You know, as someone who was a former pushover, not that long ago, I would say even as recent as 2 years ago, a year ago, now I'm like, no, do not let them do that. Do not let them do that. Stand up for yourself. Speak up. Okay, and the people, this is my problem. My problem I have with the mean girl thing is people who are around them are silent, and you're complicit. You are encouraging this person, because there are a lot of people who are very silent in this and just letting this person do this for so long. It's only when I started speaking up now, other people are like, oh yeah, well I'm supporting you. It's like, thanks, but you literally, you knew this was happening too. But again, it's not there. The truth is, no one's gonna come save you. You have to save yourself. And so I can't even be mad at them. I'm like, whatever. Like, I see your colors, but because I'm the type of person, I'm like, what's crazy about me? Like, all my life, I was, especially when I was a kid, I would more so stand up for people other than myself. Like, I would more so stand up for someone being bullied than me stand up for myself when I'm being bullied, which is very strange. Now I'm like learning to be like, what did you say? You know? And make people uncomfortable, because I just used to avoid conflict, because I'm like, this is very awkward. But now I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. What did you just say? Why do you feel okay with saying that? That's weird behavior. I'm calling people out for their weird behavior. So I'm very happy to see that growth within myself. I'm proud of that growth, because girl, I was drugged through the mud. Okay, dragged through the mud. I was dragged through the mud. Like, I still feel some mud on me from being dragged, okay? But yeah, no more of that. The sad thing is, honestly, women, and people always speak about women empowerment and uplifting women and empower women until it's a woman that they don't like, or a woman that doesn't fit their criteria of what they think or who they think deserves to be treated like a human, like a person, and that's the sad truth. It's something I've realized a lot of times, where it's like I just always felt ostracized, like, you know. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that, because I don't want it to be like, oh, you victim. It's not that. Like, I've survived some stuff, you know. It's just sad to see the selective woman empowerment, and how some people will do it for some and not for others. I think that's a horrible trait, and I think as women we need to be unbiased and actually realize when we're being triggered by other women, and when we feel insecure, and when we feel less than, because it really and truly, that's what causes these things. No one who is secure in themselves, and who knows themselves, and who is connected to their higher self and God, and aligned and centered, would ever be a mean girl and drag other people and belittle people and make people feel whatever way. You know, if you're truly aligned with yourself and confident and have good self-esteem and healthy mental health, you will never act like that, you know. And that's something I think we should speak about more. Like, I think it's important to call that out, because it's normalized, you know. As women, it's normalized. It's like, yeah, we empower women, but you know, that girl, like, I don't like her, so let's just talk crap about her now. It's like, no, that's not how this works, you know. It's not how it works. How about you grow up? How about you realize that you have some things that you're going through. And I'm not saying you have to like everyone. The truth is you're not going to like everybody in life, but it doesn't mean it gives you an excuse to defame them and make them seem this and talk about this and talk about this past. You know what's crazy too? It's always the go-to of like, yeah, she's a hoe. I heard she did this and I heard she did that. It's internal misogyny. That's what you call internalized misogyny by women, you know? Like, the first thing you're gonna go to is attack a woman for her sexuality, her being liberated as a woman to make decisions with her body. If you're claiming to be a feminist, aren't you saying that all women should have the right to their body and to be who they are and to express themselves and to speak and to be and exist? But yet, when it's a woman you don't like, those rules don't apply. Grow up. Grow up. That's weird. Weird behavior. Let's start calling it what it is and start making people feel uncomfortable with their own negativity being spewed. My thing for what I've been doing recently, I let people hold their energy. I'm like, oh, you trying to give me that? Nah, I'm not taking it. You hold that. And then it gets them really angry. It's one of my favorite things to do because I'm just at peace. Like, I don't have to be in your space. I will remove myself and I will go be happy in my own space. And guess what? Now you're just salty, holding all these bad vibes. And now you have to address your stuff. You know, the truth is some people, I am a mirror. And the truth is people do not like mirrors that are like reflections of themselves that are not flattering. So when you start to show them the unflattering truth about them, about being insecure and about being triggered and just being unkind, they get very angry. But that doesn't mean that you have to change anything. That's a them problem. Weak women team up together to go against one woman. And it's just not right. I think it's important for us to have some empathy. And ladies, it's a conversation we really need to talk about because it's very common. I don't understand the whole let's attack a woman thing. And this is something that was shown to me from a very young age. I remember when let's get into the details. I lost my virginity to my boyfriend. And to be honest, I didn't want to do it. And I said no. I stopped him. I was like, I don't think this is too soon. And he literally was like, shh. You know, like really in that moment, I just kind of, you know when you freeze? I froze. And I held so much guilt and shame because I'm like, I lost my virginity and I'm not pure and whatever. And the truth is I didn't want to. And I'm not saying he R-worded me. I'm just saying it was one of those situations where I was clearly not wanting to. And that wasn't respected. And he apologized many years later. He didn't specifically apologize for that. I think he apologized for cheating on me, which makes it worse because after I lost my virginity to him, he then cheated on me. And then what's crazy is then I guess he felt like the man and told people that he took my virginity because I wasn't his first. He took advantage of me. Anyway, and then he started talking about whatever. And then guess what? Despite that situation not being completely in my control and wanting to do that thing, and then being cheated on, so being used, so my purity was just nothing to him. Then it was spread around, and then it became I'm promiscuous, and then women, young girls, were like, that was the talk of the town. There were so many girls talking crap about me and saying this and she did that and she did this. And that's from that age, from a like teenager, that's when I saw that women will not defend women. And that's sad. It's pathetic. It's heartbreaking because, yeah. So when I talk about these things, it's on a very deep level. I'm very much against slandering other women and bringing other women down. Don't fake woman empowerment and being a girl's girl, whatever that means, because that's a scam as well. Because girls are only girls for girls that they like, you know? Again, scam. Don't fake it. Like, I'm so over it. Let's address it. Let's be real. Address the elephant in the room and call people out for their duplicitous, two-faced, double standards. And that's the tea for today. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, thanks for listening to me rant.